Can you hear me now? Sound is a bit low, very low. I've turned it up. So sorry about this, guys. I was trying to set up a new camera yesterday. So I've messed around with all my settings, which has obviously messed things up today. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Tia. I've turned it up now. Yes, says Danny. Yeah, okay now. Awesome. Woo! Thank you so much, guys, for your patience. Sorry about that. Like I said, I was messing around with trying to set up a new camera. I'm having a nightmare setting up my new camera. I can't get sound. I'm using, if anyone has got any advice, I'm using a Sony ZV-1F. Everything's linked up from what I can do with my settings, and whatever I do, I cannot get the sound to work. It's so frustrating. So I'm having to keep resorting to a webcam. But anyway, this isn't your problem, so let's get into it. And welcome to today's live. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're all doing okay. How you are feeling after the repercussions of the eclipse are still ongoing. Some of you may feel more affected than others. Let me know how, what's been going on with everyone's energy. I'm hoping today's session will bring you some peace, clarity, and comfort. So let's take a deep breath, center ourselves, and take this time to tune in. For anyone new here, if you would like a free reading, just click the link in the pinned comment and you'll be added to the list. Just wait for your name to be called. Quick reminder of how I read. So I'm an energy reader, tuning into your energy, your situation. So I don't do yes, no timelines or general readings. Please provide context and detail. This allows me to tune into your energy. But I'm going to go over and grab the list now so we can get into it. Sruthi, stressed out for no reason. Well, I hope today will bring you a place to recenter and feel calm. A new feature as well, I forgot to mention actually, it's in the general chat, but as well, be part of the conversation in our new community page, which YouTube has just given the Urban Seer access to. So it's a community page, but where you guys can share your thoughts, your feelings. If you wanted to share a tarot pull of that you've done, I shared one yesterday. Whatever's on your mind, whatever's on your heart in relation to tarot, emotions, spiritual journey, and it's something that you'd like to bring and share to the community, please feel free to head over and do that. The link is in the chat. And first up, we have Samreen, my love. If you were here, please go ahead. You're number 1. Yeah, it's like this new feature, Samreen, about it's if you imagine it, it's like a community forum. So it only works on the app, and basically that subscribers can post there. So it's not just I can post there, but it also means that like you guys can post there, which is quite exciting. Questions to the community, questions to me. It's a way for us to kind of keep in contact and communicate between live sessions. So check that out, guys, and feel free to post. So Samreen says, my question is regarding the energetic connection between my ex and I. Despite being in no contact, we remain energetically connected. Let's have a look at the nature of this energy, Samreen. I'm using the Neon Rider-Waite deck today. But Samreen says, but I've stopped manifesting him. Okay, even if his thoughts come to my mind, I brush it off. Okay. Will we remain connected in the future? Let's see. Okay. So how things have been, Samreen, is coming to an end, is changing. So this struggle, it's been a struggle, yeah? And I think by you stopping manifesting even, and the changes that you've made, you know, working on making new connections, etc. I'll pull another card, but this talks about putting down that burden, which can only be a good thing. Okay, so the 10 of Wands is the end of a cycle, and then we make room for, there is a new beginning which is on its way. So this can either be which I'll ask what this new beginning, what comes after the 10 of Wands here, but how things have been up to this point. It maybe became a drain, was not working for you anymore, and even the manifestation became, maybe lacked energy and didn't feel like the right thing to do. It doesn't mean that you're not energetically connected. I mean, what I would say about energy connections, it is up to you. If you know, there is free will in that. If you want to sever that cord, or if you want to continue being connected to that person energetically, that's free will. That's your choice. You know, you can energetically cut that cord, or you can energetically leave it be and let it still stand. Okay, I feel like this is your energy, Samreen. Okay, or I mean, the question was actually, it was the energy of, so it isn't just your energy. Actually, I'll correct myself there. It's the energy of this connection, okay? Because that's the question that I asked. So I wasn't looking at your energy or his energy. Initially, I'm looking at the energy of this connection. So that's really been going on between you both. This has been somewhat of a struggle bus, yeah? This connection. And maybe it's like, it's got tired, yeah, it's got weary, something needs to give, and we need to release this burden. What comes next? Let's see if Spirit can give us a snapshot and insight into the future. The Magician, yeah. This is about what you want to manifest. So again, this is about free will. This is about choice. You have the power, Samreen. You have all the tools in front of you to really manifest what you want. Again, kind of reiterating this message that you're in control of this. You're in control of your destiny. How do you feel? You know, like if you've chosen to stop manifesting them, which I think says something, you know, but if you want to revert back to that, you can. What do you want to manifest, you know, in your love life, in this space? It really is kind of up to you, yeah? I feel like you're not a victim to circumstance. Yes, we can play our part in this. Do you want to hold on to your ex, or do you want to release them? What do you want to manifest next? That's up to you. Let's just pull one more card of, I want to specifically focus on their energy. This is you. This is the connections energy. And then let's just see purely on them. Page of Wands. Wands. Okay, so I mean, they're not closed off with this energy. I would say that as well. Page of Wands is fire. There are still feelings here. There are still passions here. There are still frustrations from them in relation to this connection. And they are, Page is always about when we kind of, I think they think about this connection and what has been and maybe what to do next. But whenever I pull on their energy, it almost feels like that they haven't got to that place yet where they would physically make a move and that they've got total clarity. It's always that they're kind of, it's on their mind and they think about it and they assess the situation, maybe kind of mull over what went wrong, what went right, and what they want. But they haven't quite got the impetus yet, anyway, at least to, or the certainty or the clarity to really make a bold move towards you. Yeah, he's stubborn and lacks action. So it's almost that's as far as it always seems to get Samreen with his energy. He's either kind of burying his head in work and distracting himself, or he's someone maybe who dwells on things, who gets stuck in the weeds, who assesses things and does think of you. And like I say, thinks of making a move, but never actually kind of maybe finds the courage or the clarity to think, yeah, this is what I want and I'm going to go for it. Maybe this is, like you say, something about his character just in life. He's not someone who really takes life scared to take risk, maybe, yeah? Something in him holds him back a lot. And he's not someone who really goes for what he wants. He struggles to really go for what he wants. And that's what I keep seeing. It's like something holds him back. So I hope that resonates. Go back to this manifestation. Continue to manifest, Samreen. We're manifesting all the time if we know it or not, but consciously understand it as a choice of what you want to manifest. If you don't want to do with them, but continue to manifest, an ideal relationship, if that's what you want, to draw love into your life. Focus on that. That's where I feel like your energy needs to be. But there is some kind of closure and ending coming, a turning point in this connection, in this relationship. Samreen says, probably what he did to me after I took a stand to him, yeah? Keep us posted, Samreen. So next up we have Kristen, my love. So this is just Kristen, not Kristen K. Kristen Conler is further down, but this is Kristen number 1. Hey Namira, I'm glad you made it, my love. I'll update the list in a bit. I'll close the list at 12. Thanks, Kristen. So, Kristen says, C and I are having a hard time making it work. Oh, I'm sorry, Kristen. What is happening between us? We always have bad blood moon when it hits. He noticed it, not me. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, these eclipses do bring things to the surface. Yeah. Things can be quite explosive. I mean, it was in Pisces, so that kind of has a kind of spiritual esoteric energy, but nonetheless it's eclipse, it's a blood moon. It brings things to the surface. Let's have a look. What's happening between us is the question there. So what is the issue in making it work? Oh, just had this, some collective energy coming through. Okay, so 10 of Wands. Someone or both of you, the nature of this connection. Okay, what comes through is 10 of Wands is like a burnt out energy. Yeah, feeling weary, like both of you, one of you, you know, has been through a lot. Maybe this relationship, you know, each wand represents a kind of battle, a struggle. And we're reaching the end point of this struggle with a 10 because it's about the end of a cycle. But let me know, I don't know if what I'm thinking, I'm testing this out, what's coming through is there life pressures outside of this? That is it a struggle bus? Is it difficult because of external circumstances? Are we feeling burnt out? Are we feeling drained? That's putting pressure on the relationship? I want to see where this burnt out energy is coming from. Let me know if you know. Is it in this dynamic or is it external? Is it both? Tell me more, Spirit. Tell me more. Ten of Cups. So there's still a lot of love here. And there's still the potential for emotional fulfillment, okay? This is very much a happy ever after card, okay? Emotional fulfillment, peace. 10, we've got 2 10s. So both talk about completion. Cups is like a positive kind of happy completion and reaching the point, getting to where you want, what you've been working towards. 10 of Wands is more like this drained, staggering to the finish line kind of energy, yeah? So what do we need to do to get our 10 of Cups, yeah? How do we get our 10 of Cups? This is about disagreements. This is about arguments. This is about harsh communication. Are we having communication issues, okay? Because this is 5 of Swords. And this is about, so if you guys may be arguing when you say you're having a hard time making it work, that we're disagreeing, that we're rubbing each other the wrong way, that we cannot communicating, we're not connecting. Sometimes it can be that we are, because the 5s are actually about, you know, it seems very intense at the time and it feels catastrophic, but it actually kind of like blows over quicker than what we might expect. So this can be something about not giving too much weight to these disagreements. If it feels, I just see what you say. It's not easy to make it work because the distance, and we're both busy, and I'm trying to move closer just so we can be together. To be together physically is work. Okay. So there, I feel like that's the issue. That's the, like what I said when it came through about it's being circumstantial. What's at the heart of this connection between you and them is 10 of Cups. You know, emotionally, we are there is this potential here for this happy ever after. He's angry with me for not moving in with him, okay? But maybe you're not ready, and that's okay. You couldn't, it's not very fair for him to be angry with you about that. So, you know, life gets in the way, Kristen, and this is just like a real fact. I'm not saying that you should move in with him to get your happy ever after. But when we have relationships are hard enough anyway, but when we've got distance, you know, we're busy, everyone, you know, work demands so much from us all, doesn't it? To make money, to survive. So that's, you know, that isn't something that you can work on necessarily, is it? That's just circumstances. You can too, I suppose, in the meantime, whilst we're navigating this difficult circumstance, try to have faith and remember this 10 of Cups. And I would say we need to get really good, particularly when we're in long distance, but it's any relationship, okay? We need to work on communication. Maybe they need to work on communication, but we need to get some clarity. Be mindful of our delivery of how we communicate, what we're saying. Final message, what you should focus on to get that 10 of Cups. Oh, look at that. There we go. Doubling down. Queen of Swords. It's all about being strategic. It's about speaking your truth. It's about being open. It's about not burying things, brushing things under the carpet. Yeah. 2 swords there, Kristen. So communication is key if we're going to survive this, okay? Navigate this. Don't hold back, Kristen, as well. Queen of Swords doesn't hold back, okay? She says what's on her mind, and it's kind of time to, I hope this resonates with you, to speak out, be direct and say what you need and open things up in some ways. Have that difficult conversation maybe. How are we going to make this work? You know, we've got this distance, we've got these challenges. Something needs to change, something needs to give. To try and improve, yeah, to work around this situation. Just say, as well, maybe saying, look, I know that you're upset that I'm not going to move in with you, but I'm not ready, and I need you to understand that. I still love you, I still care about you, I'm very invested in this, I want to make it work. What can we do that makes us both feel okay as things are? You know, can we make it work? What do we need to do? He does want you because we've got this 10 of Cups, yeah? So don't doubt that. Like I'm saying, this isn't about the feelings not being there. The emotion is there. The love is there. I mean, he wouldn't be angry, would he, if he doesn't want you? He wouldn't be angry that he wants you to move in with him, yeah? He wants you. So believe that. You know, there's so much doubt often that I think that people, which, I mean, it's understandable, but, you know, yes, that 10 of Cups is there. That happy ever after is there, Kristen. but it's like we need to work on the practicalities, we need to work on communication, we need to work to get our boundaries clear so that our needs are met. So I hope that makes sense. Sruthi, my love, you are next. But yeah, it's not a depth of feeling problem. It's a circumstantial problem. It's a bit like those things when if you're in a job that you, this is maybe a bad example, I don't know, but if you're in a job that you hate and then people ask, oh, why am I so unhappy? Why am I so stressed? What's wrong with me? Why can't I feel right? And it's like, because that job isn't right for you. You know, it's not that there's something wrong with you. And it's not an exact analogy with you, Kristen, here, but it's like, it's not that there's something wrong with this relationship and this feeling and this connection. It's just the circumstances, it's the distance, it's the pressure that you're both under. It's a lot for two people to handle, yeah? Hey, Divine Timing, thanks, Ruthie. Okay, Kristen, love and light, keep us posted. Have that conversation. Have that open, direct conversation. See what happens. So Shruti says, can you read into my energy and figure out what sort of partner I might attract? And is there a chance I might miss him and end up alone? Everyone around me is already in a committed relationship. I can certainly do that, Shruti, but no, you will not miss them. I like to think this quote, what's for us won't go by us, okay? So what's for you won't go by you. You won't miss this opportunity, okay? The universe will be intentional about bringing this offer to you. And if you're open to it, the only way that you could miss it, that's the wrong word, but it's like, is to reject it, yeah? So if you were to say, no, I don't want this. So we all have free will, but we don't miss opportunities, okay? You're welcome, Kristen. Love and light. Thanks, Ruthie. My friends keep pushing men into my life. I kind of feel like my standards are too high. Don't ever think that. And I might actually end up alone. You know, I would say, I'm not saying that you will end up alone, but lowering your standards is not the way to go. You know, if it's not, it can make us be alone for longer periods in our life because we, you know, you could go out and get a relationship tomorrow if you didn't care who it was. And there is something about holding out for someone who really is the real deal that sometimes involves us having periods of being alone more. But, you know, I would probably say as well, is it not better? Is being alone the worst thing? Or is being in a relationship or with a partner who doesn't love you, respect you? That sounds worse to me, yeah? I don't know how other people feel about that, but I think, you know, being alone gets a bad rap. To me, being in a relationship with someone who is not kind and loving or that we were in love with is worse. Let's see what Spirit has to say, those three things. Oh, all the cards are falling out. How nice. This is, so Spirit has brought through your person's energetic signature very clearly. I love it when Spirit just, you know, comes through so clearly, directly. But this King of Pentacles, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if this has come through for you before. King of Pentacles, okay? Someone who, so this is your person's energetic signature, yeah? Could be an earth sign or have this prominent in their chart, okay? But this is someone who is grounded, okay? They are someone that you can lean on. They're a king as well, so they have that maturity, which I feel like is something that you need and is important to you, Sruthi, in order to connect with someone, okay? Maybe you've been through a lot and in some ways have a maturity about you in your soul, yeah? Old soul kind of energy. King of Pentacles, kings know who they are. King of Pentacles can be very work focused. So this is someone who is often successful in the 3D, in the material world. They are driven in their career. And they value stability, financial stability, and they are worldly wise, okay? So they're savvy, they know how to interact with the world, if that makes sense, okay? They understand the rules, they understand the rules of the game, okay? Because the 3D dimension, as in every dimension, is like a different game that we play. Some people are better at one dimension than the other, etc. So this king is someone who knows how that works and is established and is successful. They can have a kind of almost fatherly quality in the sense that they would look after you, okay? So this is super nice. So remember that. Manifest this, okay? Do we have a daily manifestation practice? It's a way to help shift the energies through I know you said you're feeling kind of stuck, frustrated. You want this person to come through, yeah? Like you're ready. The universe, you know, divine timing, there is stuff often that we don't see behind the scenes, stuff that is happening, how things have to align, or what's going on with your person. Some energy could need to be tied up. You know, there's like a multifaceted, lots of things going on that we don't know, that we don't see. So we do have to trust in divine timing, but we also can have our hand in this in our manifestation practice about bringing it through and making sure that we're open and bringing it through as quickly and cleanly and easily as we can. I like the expression when manifesting, or you know, just throughout life, to say, you know, when you find yourself struggling with something, to say, universe, show me how easy it can be. Universe, show me how easy it can be. And just repeat that when you find yourself stressing over something, worried, anxious. Universe, show me how easy it can be. Final messages for Sruthi, please, Spirit. Oh, look, and then here you are. You are in your Queen of Cups, Sruthi energy, which is about going with the flow. It's about allowing your heart center, your heart chakra to be soft, Shruti, okay? So in order to, maybe when manifesting, this is something you could focus on if that resonates. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But the Queen of Cups is someone who allows herself to feel things deeply, allows herself, you know, in some ways as well, you can romanticize the everyday, you can daydream about this person, and and try to lean into that energy of believing that it's already happened. You know, if you've heard the expression with manifestation about living in the end, and what would it feel like to meet this person? What daydream about what this relationship would look like? What would you do? How would this person make you feel? How would it change your life for the better? Kind of really ruminate and bring that kind of dreamy, magical energy, okay? So if you may be getting too bogged down in the 3D and have lost the kind of whimsy of, you know, why we're doing all this, to, you know, why do we want a loving partner, and kind of just tapping into the emotions of it, okay? Tap into your Queen of Cups energy. So daydream, make that part of your manifestation practice, and allow your heart space to be soft and open. Piece together some affirmations, Shruti, as well, about, you know, I am open and ready for this love. I'm ready for my ideal relationship to come into my life. Whatever, you know, write out what it is that you desire, and so say those throughout the day. Love and light, Shruti. I'm glad it resonates. Okay. Thank you, Anne, for posting. This is for you. So actually, I'm just going to close the list now, Anne, because it's filling up. I want to make sure that I get through everyone in good time. Yep, okay, Shruti, to have negative times as well, isn't it? It's only human to have those down times, the light and the dark. But yeah, daydream, affirmations, all helpful. Okay, so Anne asks, the last reading resonated deeply with me, especially regarding the person on my mind. I remember those cards. Since the connection feels destined with him, what mindset or actions should I embrace to support it unfolding in alignment with Spirit's guidance? Okay, so what do you need to do? Which is always a great question to ask. What do I need to do in this situation? You're very welcome, Shruti. I'm glad that resonated. Okay, and my love, this is for you. So let me go back to that wording. What mindset or actions should I embrace to support it unfolding? Three of Wands. So Three of Wands is like about trust, okay, to me. Because this person, so they are standing on the shoreline, and they are waiting for their ships to come in. And the ships represent, you know, what we want, what we desire. And this is the outcome and that you want with this person, okay? So the other person involved in this is going through their own awakening, their own spiritual awakening, and that this connection is part of that, and this sense of destiny, yeah? And this is you who have longed in a way for this connection. Maybe you have a sense of destiny about this too, Anne. But really this card is saying it's on its way to you. You don't really have to do anything. We just need to keep our heart, so we don't have to sort of physically do anything. This person is stationary, this person is still. They're just aligned with their 3 wands, and energetically they are aligned with trust and faith and a knowing. So when there's a lot of talk about manifestation today, but it's useful reminder for us all in a way that, like, when we're manifesting, to try to get into that energetic space of knowing. Does everyone, like, the difference between wanting, hoping, wishing, that's all like kind of laced with, sprinkled with doubt, all those kind of energies. And if we can get into that energetic state of knowing that what we want is on its way to us and will happen, then you get this like really good sense of peace and calm that can come over you. And when we're doing our daily practice, if we can do that, that's the state that we're trying to be in. And if we can get into that knowing, then it's already done. Then we've done it, yeah? It's on its way to us. The ships are on their way. So that is quite a powerful message there. And I hope that resonates with you about what you can do. One final message, Spirit. Anything else for Anne? But it's saying, you know, those ships are coming, Anne. Just believe it. Just play your role in that. So here's those worries, those anxieties, that doubt again of that creeps in. It's kind of like the self-awareness of that humans are kind of blessed and cursed with. But those negative thoughts that come up are inner saboteur that tells us, what if it won't happen? What if it doesn't happen? You know, what if we miss it? All that kind of stuff. You know, we all have that. And, you know, the messages that we are given as well is to not trust, I think, as well. And is kind of, there's a lot of fear perpetuated, and that if you're not doing, that you will miss out. But if we can slow down and trust, we can get there really calmly, yeah? There needs to be no fuss, no drama. Universe, show me how easy it can be, yeah? So what you can do is that, and then this 9 of Swords, but says, you know, when those thoughts come up, breathe through them. Don't give them weight. Don't give them power. Don't give them energy. Have your affirmations ready to retrain your brain, yeah? Hope that resonates, Anne. Nice message there. Danny, my love, are you here? I'll repost the list for everyone as well. But Danny, if you're here, please go ahead and post. Oh, 1 second. This is the updated list, the final list. I'll post again though in a bit. No problem, Danny. You're welcome, Anne. You're very welcome. Love and light. Check out the guys as well, like I said, but for anyone sort of filtering through, coming in, there is a new community page where everyone can post. So much like a kind of forum vibe, a community forum for us all to stay in contact in between these live sessions as well. So yesterday I did a card pull of the day for the community, for the Urban Seer community. And if you have a tarot deck and you want to share what card that you pulled and what came through, or if you've got questions for the community, or if you'd like to reach out for support in the community, that space is now open. So, which is quite exciting. I mean, I'm looking forward to see how that develops and grows. Thank you, Danny. So Danny asks, I've asked about this Pisces named Lance in the past. Yes, I remember Lance well. I always remember, I feel like Lance was, I pulled one of the Love Oracle cards and he appeared in them, and that kind of stuck in my mind, if I remember rightly. And there's been some, at the moment, we have been getting along well. Can I get a current energy reading about his feelings for you? Yes. Because I remember things were a bit rocky, Danny, weren't they, for a while? There was some nasty things maybe said by Lance, some harsh things. So I'm glad that things have improved, that you're getting along well. Let's do an energy check-in for Lance in relation to you. Nice. So they see you in their future, Danny, when we see this Two of Wands. So there's a 2, which is nice. So this talks about union, the power of 2 and your connection. Whenever we see a 2, it's like doubling down on that kind of soulmate connection, I think, partners in crime. I don't know why that came through. That was a strange expression. Maybe that resonates. But, a strong connection. He still struggles to open up, but he puts a lot of effort into keeping peace. Nice. And 2 of Wands is like, Wands is about passion. It's about ambition. It's about looking to the future very much and getting a plan in place. And what feels like comes through very strongly here, Danny, is that they see you in their future. Maybe, in their own, maybe they keep it to themselves. Like you say, they struggle to open up, but kind of in their mind, and when they think of you, maybe they are planning about how this relationship would develop. I don't know how committed we are yet, but maybe they have plans for moving in together if you're not already there yet, or if they think they kind of imagine their life, how we all think of the future and the plans we have, and you're there. Yeah. And I feel like that kind of reminds me, if I'm right with that image that I had of him, this kind of looks like his image. Anything more, Spirit? Anything more? A lot of the time, that's what we need. We can understand people's difficulties and challenges that we all have, in relationships. We all have our issues. We're all kind of messed up in our own way, But if someone is putting in effort and someone is trying, then, and they are we're seeing growth, then a lot of the time, that's all that we need, isn't it? Knight of Swords is interesting, is kind of communication, news. This feels like them this is like almost like a kind of rushing towards you. Maybe them having a breakthrough in the area of communication, because swords is about communication and expressing themselves. This feels like a kind of breakthrough moment to me. Danny says the partners in crime resonates, though nothing to do with literal crime, but it does resonate. I'm glad that it resonates, because I feel like, you know, if that just came through, that's not something that I would normally say. So obviously meant in a light-hearted jest that it is. Partners in crime. Knight of Swords, though, yeah, kind of continuing to have breakthroughs in communication. Maybe you already feel like that's happened, but being able to say kind of how they feel about you, what they want. This is, I think you kind of bring this out in them, Danny, that you've created a safe space. You've stuck by them in some ways as well. And they are making progress in this area. Oh, lovely. And then Three of Cups, the celebration, the kind of being able to have a good time. This is maybe a big part of your relationship, that you kind of have fun and can, so maybe you socialize a lot, or this is a kind of continuation of that energy of that there is fun in this union, you know. It's like you just enjoy each other's company. And that is also, you know, a lot of kind of what's nice about just a strong bond in a relationship is being able to just hang out with each other, yeah? And just do normal things in a way, and that be fun because you're with your person, yeah? Make like mundane things become a kind of fun adventure when we're with someone who we really get on with and care about, and a good match for each other, yeah? So all positive energy here, Danny, all positive messages here. They in their future, you were there for them. Knight of Swords is this kind of breakthrough in communication, clarity, them finding their voice. Yeah, maybe they've struggled to find their voice. And then this kind of light-hearted energy of being social and just kind of having a good time. And this is like maybe an important layer of this relationship. Like I say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But all good vibes here. They enjoy your company. They love your company. They see you in their future. They're having breakthroughs. You've helped create that space for them, Danny. So know that, yeah? So I hope that resonates. Kristen Conlon, my love, if you are still here, please go ahead and post. Kristen K. You're welcome, Danny. You're welcome. Glad you could make it. Thank you, Kristen. Hi, Seer, says Kristen. So S has gone completely silent on me. No, I recently confronted him about my feelings towards him because he did lead me on. But he's gone completely quiet. I feel like an idiot. Oh, don't feel like an idiot, Kristen. Sharing your feelings towards him was not a wrong thing to do. I think there's going to be another part to this question. It hasn't come through yet to me, so I'm just hanging on. Maybe not. Are we looking at his feelings? I don't know, I just feel like I'm wasting my time. I don't know if it's cut off some of your question there, Kristen. I've got up to where it says, but it's gone completely quiet. I feel like an idiot. What will happen next? So he's gone completely quiet. So did you confront him? What was said? I mean, obviously only share what's comfortable here, Kristen. But did you confront him and say, you know, you've led me on? Anyway, let's see what comes through. Their energy. Oof. Judgment, Major Arcana. What comes next? So they're feeling, I mean, what comes through is they're feeling judged. Probably rightly so. You know, if they've led you on. Judgment is a card, is karma, yeah? So what we've done in the past finally catches up with us and bites us, yeah? That's judgment energy. So if we've done the work, if we've kind of made those often difficult decisions, but we kind of did the right thing, or we stepped up, or we communicated honestly, you know, etc., then it's kind of like that comes good. But if we've tried to sidestep issues, if we've tried to bury things under the carpet or be avoidant, like your person has, Kristen, from the sounds of it, then that's coming back to bite them. And I think that's like this, you confronting them maybe. And you know, people don't like that, I guess. Like, to be, if you've called them out, then you know, and that's why they've gone quiet on you. Let me know if that resonates, but yeah, they feel that judgment that's being called out. So you've told him you have feelings for him because we've been taught for too long. So again, in some ways, even though it wasn't confrontational, but you brought things to a head, if that makes sense, Kristen. Okay, so you said, okay, we've been doing this for a while now. You know, obviously that you probably didn't, however you said it, but you know, you said, you know, we've been doing this for a while. So in a way, what happens next? He treats me like a girlfriend when we're together, then goes completely silent. So maybe it's just reached we're at a crossroads here. Yeah. Okay, Kristen, that's what this judgment card speaks of. This was always going to happen in some ways. This was always going to come to a head for as long as this hot cold, this kind of non-committal stuff has been going on. Yeah. Let's have a look though what happens next, because that was your question. So this is where he's at. He and you know you didn't do anything wrong. I hope that's not what you feel dumb for like that you told him your feelings. I feel like you know, pull the trigger on that, and because if not, then you would just continue to cycle around what you're already doing. Okay. They will continue to try to keep this situation as it is, okay? So juggling you in a way, this up and down. That's what Two of Pentacles, okay? Energy is. Can you see how this, and this is the sign of infinity here. Probably many of you are familiar with that. So I feel like more than likely, you know, that the dust will settle, you will hear from them again, or you can communicate, you know, communication will re-enter the chat, but they are still in this up and down energy. There's something about not knowing what they want, Kristen. Temperance. You need to embody this temperance is about balance, okay? Getting balance. So first of all, balance yourself, Kristen, okay? Because I don't know when this happened, but we feel like tensions are high, emotions are running high. Temperance is about not doing anything rash, really, okay? And trying to find the middle ground. So actually not doing anything extreme. So I know you said I have to run then, but that's like, don't just hold the water on that one, okay? Just for now. Spirit is telling us this for a reason, okay? So be still. Temperance, harmony, patience, being measured, taking the middle road. That is advice for you, Kristen, okay? So actually, I would say don't do anything. Just try to focus on being grounded and finding your peace at the moment, okay? Don't communicate to them further unless they reach out to you, or, you know, don't do anything drastic or rash. This is, like I say, their energy, it's up and down. They feel all over the place. They feel uncentered, ungrounded. Let them... Anything else about them, Spirit? Yeah, so emotions are running high on their side as well. So they do care about this. They are bothered about this connection, okay? Let this kind of judgment that you've said your piece, you've spoke out, you've said how you feel, you've kind of brought things to a head. Emotions are running high for them. They're all over the place. They're up and down. Let them almost settle as well. So you find your peace. Things need to calm down first, and then see how they proceed. See what comes next from them. And then we'll regroup. So we'll regroup and then decide what are they going to come forward with. Everything feels like it's kind of emotions are too high right now. So behind the scenes with those cards, Kristen, even though it might seem like they don't care, there are some big feelings there actually. So hold the phone and see what they come back with, yeah? Thanks, Tia, for posting. Tia asks, the Pisces night are going on a date this Thursday. How will that go? The weekend date was postponed and energy being a little strained, but we are well. Okay. You're welcome, Kristen. Okay, let's have a look at this date energy. Nice. Major Arcana. A card of adventure, Tia. The energy as well is like around this is about being bold. It's about being spontaneous. It's about being open. So it's kind of a time to, if we can, sort of like let loose in some ways, you know, have a good time. Feels like have fun, be spontaneous, be bold, be open. Okay? Remember what this is all about here, yeah? Maybe things have been a bit pressured. Maybe things, because I know there was the conversations about, you know, where is this going? About being exclusive, all that stuff kind of came into the conversation. And maybe on Thursday, it's kind of to be more present and just to live in the moment and to have a good time and to be spontaneous and to be adventurous. And don't get into, don't get anything too heavy if we can. Doesn't feel like that's the energy of the day that's needed, yeah? Because I suppose here it is this kind of crossroads, this angstiness of this Two of Swords, which feels like, you know, where is this going? We are at some kind of crossroads, I suppose, in this relationship that has become apparent. Let me know if that resonates. I feel like this is where we're at and why this has come through. And those questions, those conversations are coming up. And, you know, that's running alongside. That's like one river that is just running, that is just still there, but we can deal with that later. Okay, that's just there. We can let that just be. We are managing our anxieties. We're tapping into our intuition to handle this crossroads and those questions. But for Thursday and for now, let's just enjoy the moment, okay, Tia? Let's kind of, I just hear sort of kind of let loose. Have fun. You know, this Fool is like, woohoo! Let's just, you know, go and have a good time. Forget about everything. Just enjoy each other's company, yeah? Sometimes that's the best thing to do. So I hope that resonates. Bring that energy to the date, Tia. Bring that energy to the date. Sarah, my love, are you here? Yes, you are. Awesome. Please, a follow-up regarding the good energies you got on Monday regarding his feelings. What are chances of CE acting on his feelings to form a committed romantic relationship with me? Just remind me, Sarah, are we in no contact right now? So what are CE's next actions? I think is the best question to ask this. Regarding moving forward with commitment, yeah? We are very much in contact. Okay. Beautiful. So the good vibes continue, Sarah. Knight of Cups. Love offering, genuine offer. This card is all about romance, love, emotions. And here is your Knight of Cups. Here is your CE moving forward towards you on their horse with this cup, which contains their offer of love, yeah? So I think so, because this has come up quite a few times today for a lot of people. It's about like really believing what is in front of you, okay, of what is happening here, and to not have so much doubt, okay, with regarding, you know, like the pressure almost putting on this union, to kind of believe, you know, that it's like going somewhere. There's something about needing to go with the flow, and to lots of the energies today is about being present and just enjoying the moment that is what is happening now, instead of, you know, many of us like either living in the past or living in the future. And that's always kind of a place of suffering in many ways, to always be worrying about where this is going. Or if we are looking to the past and thinking about someone, to be always worrying about what has been, yeah? So I feel like there's a strong message here, again, about going with the flow, about being present, and about, you know, believing this person's feelings for you. Because that doubt it erodes connections, okay? So really believe what you are seeing, believe what you are feeling. Because here we go, Ace of Wands, this exciting beginning. There is passion, there is potential, fire. We have fire and passion, and then we have Cups, which is, you know, love and romance. So what a powerful combination, yeah? But again, Ace of Wands is like, this is kind of enjoy every stage of it, okay? This is like a new beginning. And it's exciting. And we don't know the future of what's coming. So all we have is the now. It's like that book, The Power of Now. And look how beautiful these energies are. So again, super positive, Sarah, super confirming. All that you have to do now is like believe this, yeah? So next up we have Sonali, my love. Yeah, super positive, Sarah. Thank you, Sonali. So S, current thoughts and intentions towards me, no contact, situationship. Thank you, Sonali. You're welcome, Sarah. Let's have a look at S's energy, Sonali. Same card come through. So there's potential for a new beginning here, Sonali, okay? That's what aces are all about. New beginnings, fresh starts, particularly with the wands. It's all about, you know, this is ruled by the element of fire. So there is excitement, there is passion. This is an opportunity. This is also an offering, yeah, to you, Sonali. So this would suggest that no contact could indeed break, yeah? Because this is someone presenting a wand, you know, it looks like to me in this image, presenting a wand to you, saying, you know, let's go for this, you know, let's try again. Oof. And then we have back there with this much more intense card, this major arcana of the death card, which is about a transformation. So what comes through with this, so this transformative card, you know, death is, as much as it's called death, this card, another name for it is also a rebirth. So again, a new beginning. What I would say is, okay, so I would say this person will recontact from this message, would recontact you again at some point. What I would say is, when that person does come through, make sure that we have learned from the past about what broke contact in the end, about what led you to that ending, and make sure that we're not repeating that pattern, okay? We're not repeating the same issues. If there was toxicity there, you know, we're making sure that it is indeed a fresh start. It's a new beginning, okay? The death card is kind of like it has similar energy to a tower card, okay? A tower card is tumultuous and is like sudden and shocking event endings, and it takes away what is no longer needed for us and gives us a chance to rebuild. And that's again what this death energy kind of brings. It's an opportunity to rebuild, but we need to rebuild something different. If this person comes back to us and it feels like it's the same kind of energy, then we need to challenge that, okay? If they don't respond, they may have learned a lot from this ending and learned lessons themselves and come forward and want to do things differently, but that feels like an important part of this journey, okay? So I hope that resonated. So Crystal, my love, you are next. So we have Crystal, we have our post who is left on the list. We have Crystal, Synthesized Soul, Anshaman, Divine Timing, Namira. You're welcome, Sonali. Thank you, Crystal. So Crystal asks, do you see Nixon contacting me, or should I reach out? So I don't do yes, no questions, okay? Am I the only one affected by this situation? Does he wish to forget me? Let's do an energy check-in on Nixon, okay? And this will tell us, this will bring us some clarity, hopefully, okay? About what's going on with them and what their likely actions are in relation to this connection, okay? Okay, so always free will choice here, Crystal. But this is their energy, okay, 9 of Cups, and it's kind of closed off at the moment. There are feelings here for sure, because we have 9 Cups that is behind them, okay? But can you see how they have their arms folded here? And they're kind of like, I don't know what led to the no contact situation, but there feels like to be on their side this kind of stubbornness, yeah? about they're not going to budge on something. So what we can do here is, because we have this Queen of Wands of energy, which is about you taking control of this situation, Crystal, which begs the question about, if you need sort of clarity on this situation, there's no harm in you reaching out. That is a risk in the sense that they could just not respond. They could respond with saying that they're, with something that is not what you want to hear. But what it will do is then give you some, or it could be positive, that you get a positive response to them and they seem open, okay? It could be any of those kind of energies. I do see them, like I say, being in a kind of stubborn energy, and there's some resistance here about, which is why maybe they're not going to reach out to you right now, okay? Because they are digging their heels on something. Let me know if that resonates, okay? They're like, okay, I'm just going to do me, almost in a way to be kind of like, yeah, they're just not ready to budge on this, whatever has gone down between you, okay? So what feels most important to you, if this is driving you crazy and you just want to have more answers and know, there's nothing wrong with embodying this Queen of Wands energy, which is about taking control and being dynamic and reaching out, making that first move, and just kind of say what's going on, trying to reopen this conversation. But don't expect maybe that it won't still be like a battle in some ways, that you might not get the answers that you want. So it's weighing up the options. Do you want to wait it out, see if they make a shift, see if they drop their stubbornness and become more immovable and maybe reach out to you? Or is it driving you crazy? Do you want to know now? Do you want to kind of force this situation and move it forward? Spirit is not against that. But know that they are in a kind of stubborn energy right now. There is still love here. Six of Cups, there are still feelings here. There is nostalgia about the past. There is missing you. There is still fond memories of this connection, which ties in with all these cups about that there are still feelings here with Nixon. They do miss you. In the past, I tried, it was just so toxic. I felt humiliated in front of his friends and co-workers, so I'm hesitant to reach out. Okay. So is there another way that we can take control of the situation? If this person if this is toxic and they've humiliated you, Crystal, then this is someone who, maybe is that we need to focus our energy away from them and elsewhere, okay? Distract yourself, put your energy into yourself, put your energy into your own ambitions and plans. Maybe that you need the movement to come from them. That you will be it's not to say that it won't come through, because there are feelings here, but you will need to wait, okay? Because they are doubling down and being stubborn. What makes you feel empowered? What frees you in this situation? He's totally avoidant, yeah. I would never encourage you to return to something toxic, Crystal. So maybe it's time, this Queen of Wands, is to focus then energy on yourself, your passions, your ambitions, date other people even. Would that empower you? Would that make you feel like you were gaining control of the situation? See what other options are out there. And then leave them to that. Leave them to that. If they want to shift, then they'll shift and they'll come back to you. But, I don't want to put you, if reaching out to them and you sort of trying with them or trying to open up the conversation puts you at risk of what's happened in the past, then we don't want to repeat that. Yeah, I've tried everything. So if you've tried everything, then you know there's nothing more we can do. We need to work on then releasing, doing more. Okay, then the question is not about you reaching out again. Okay, if that didn't work, if that was humiliating and you've tried everything, then we need to refocus our energy. If you are grieving, then obviously give yourself time to heal and have that, Crystal. Do whatever it is that you can to kind of regain some control of this situation, yeah? So it's just one question, Crystal. So obviously you've got other people to read from. So hold that question till Friday when I'm next live again. But I will have to move on. Synthesized soul, my love. If you are here. But in regards to, do you see a chance of ever speaking again? You know, ever is a long time. Current energies is that he is closed off. Like I say, that can change. Synthesized Soul asks, could Steffi from the Netherlands be my soulmate? So I don't answer questions. That's not how I read the tarot, Synthesized, but I'm an energy reader. I met her 2 months ago. She fits what I am manifesting, but she's grieving and not ready to date. I told her now how I feel and no contact for 2 weeks. So let's do an energy check-in on how she feels about you and this situation, okay? But I wouldn't answer a question, is this person my soulmate? I don't really believe anyone can answer or read the tarot like that. They may tell you they can, but I don't believe it's genuine, okay? Let's have a look at Steffi's energy in relation to this connection. She's just having to, I think, synthesize soul that because you mentioned, you know, she is grieving. She's just having to be so incredibly strong right now, that her energy is going into that, okay? So this can be like a timing issue. I'll pull another card to see what may change or what comes next. You've told her how I feel, which is good. You've put that out there. You've let her know. And it's not to say that this won't come back around, this opportunity, but right now, this is her. She's just having to be, this is all I keep feeling. She's having to be so strong. It is taking everything from her to like keep her head above the water. So the thought of kind of entering a new relationship, a love relationship is not what is, it's just not feasible, okay? Because she is consumed by having to be strong. So we need to give her space. We need to give her time, allow her to heal. You know, there is no, you know, when we never really get over a loss or, you know, but we do learn to live with it and maybe want to open up to new things and new relationships. But so if you want this connection, if you feel it strongly, just respect her boundaries for now and give her that time and space. You've let her know that you are your feelings. You can let her know that there for her as a friend, maybe as well. In the meantime, kind of put the romance thing to one side and be there as a support and be there as a friend. High Priestess, two major arcanas, okay, synthesized soul. So there is powerful energy. There is this always, when we see major arcanas, it tells us that there is powerful energies here and the potential for a strong connection. Okay, so there is something here. The High Priestess is, it's really when we're having to kind of, well, we have to trust our intuition, but it's also about dealing with almost like not the here and now, the 3D. It's almost like it has a very mystical energy to it. And when we're grieving, we can be in this kind of out of body state as well, where real life doesn't kind of really matter in some ways. We're just sort of going through the motions. So I think it's just an incredibly testing time for her. Just be there for her in whatever ways you can, but don't push this. And that's all that's coming through really at the moment. It feels like there just isn't the space here for romance, for you know, a new relationship right now. So honor that. You know, if you really kind of want this, then be patient and give it time. Everything changes, you know, that is true also. So this is current energies and this is what's going on. Depends what you want synthesized, you know, as well. Do you feel strongly enough to kind of wait this out? Because if you want a relationship and want to jump into something now, then that's fair enough as well, but you'll have to look elsewhere. So Anshuman asks, what is coming in connection with Zoya Pisces? I'm blocked. She also had breakup with third party cause of me. We talked on call yesterday, but I don't know where this is going to go. Okay. So she's got you blocked on everything, but you did talk yesterday. So this is kind of messy, Anshuman, yeah? Let's see where she's at. Oof. Devil card. So she is battling some demons, Anshuman. I also would say, you know, is there something toxic about this, Anshuman, okay? Because I know you've had a lot of back and forth with Zoya, mixed messages, some hot cold, you know, that you've been messed around by her maybe as well. And so I don't want to encourage you, Anshuman, to kind of continue something that the devil card is like a red flag about toxicity, okay? So you've got anxiety issues. So this situation is giving you this anxiety, yeah? Or is triggering your anxiety issues. So I feel like we need to either, okay, have we got tied into something that we need to start really seriously consider about releasing ourselves from, Anshuman, here and taking a step away? Because if it's toxic, if it's really draining you, if it's messing with your head, it's got you feeling anxious, you know, this is like, you know, let's really ask ourselves, what are we doing here? Like you say, triggering, yeah. When someone is like doing that hot and cold, and it's giving us mixed messages. It sends like the most stable person crazy, yeah, for want of a better word. It can send any of us off the deep end, getting us feeling insecure, anxious, because there's no safety here, okay? There's no security. And for a relationship to be loving, to be safe, we need stability, we need trust, we need security. And at the minute, Anshuman, there's none of this. So let's take a break, Anshuman. Can we take a break to at least regroup? If it's too much to make a decision to cut ties, obviously free will, I'm not telling you to do that, but we do need to cut ties with the toxic behavior, okay? So you can tell her, look, I am feeling that, you can say, I'm feeling really anxious. You know, this is triggering my anxiety. I need to take some time away from this and ground myself and get myself right, okay? Can we do that? Because it feels like now, yeah. So this is 5 of Pentacles, which is like the struggle. Look, this is you two going through this hard time, yeah, like it's rough. 5 of Pentacles is like when we are both also in a kind of a state of lack, which is like that nothing's going right for me, or maybe that you feel like just very desperate for this to work out. And if this doesn't work out, then, you know, everything is ruined, all is lost, and that isn't the case. And I'm not saying that we can't come back from this. Things can heal, things can change, we can break patterns and we can break habits. But right now, I feel like we do need to take a step away from this in order for you to help yourself, Anshuman, okay? To get yourself right. Even if you just, you know, what length of time feels possible? 2 days, 3 days, a week, a month. What feels acceptable to you? You don't even have to let her know. But if it feels better to let her know, then do that. Take care, Anshuman, okay? Keep us posted. So, I don't know if Synthesized Soul, have you gone? Did you get your message there? I don't know. I didn't get any response from you. Maybe you've left the chat. Divine Timing, my love, if you're here, please go ahead and post. If you are answering a question, having a reading, it is respectful for you to let me know how it resonated, if it did, if it didn't. You know, feedback is good rather than just disappearing out of the chat. It's not the best etiquette, FYI. Thank you, Divine Timing, my love. So, Divine Timing says, I've been in a healing stage in my life, beautiful, and I'm thankful for it. But not sure if it's the eclipse energy or what, but I've been feeling stronger pulls for a relationship. Nice. But there isn't anyone I feel like could be a stable relationship or even headed in that way. Okay. Let's see what Spirit says on this. So Divine Timing says, what advice does Spirit have for me on this? manifestation, the magician, divine timing. So there's some mindset shifts that we need to make here, okay? So you've been in your healing era, which is awesome, which I love for you. And then now you're at that stage, yeah, where we're ready. We're ready to open up and feel that now is the time for a relationship. So I don't know how much, and the fact that there isn't anyone in your energetic field now already, it almost doesn't, I don't really feel like that matters, because we can have a meeting or a connection with someone, you know, like that can change in a second. So magician, or the card of manifestation, it says you're a powerful manifestor, divine timing, okay? You've got all the tools, all the skills to bring exactly what you want in a partner, a stable relationship, being your word, and into your energy field, into your 3D, into your reality. So now we're feeling ready, okay, for a relationship. And we've done the work on ourselves, we've been in our healing era. Get really intentional and really focused about what you want in a partner. The more detail that you can give, the more that you can really tap into what it feels like, what you want out of a relationship. The more, if you think it's like you're putting out a frequency to the universe, yeah? You're fine-tuning your radio frequency. So, visualize, meditate, journal. Now you're at that stage. That's where you can put your energy into what you want. Getting really clear about what you want. Doesn't matter that there isn't someone in your energetic field now who matches what you want. Your person is waiting to come through. We, of course, need to do the practical side of, in the sense of putting ourselves in situations. I don't know your lifestyle about crossing paths with someone who, in a relationship, if you would use dating apps, or if you are social and put yourselves in group situations, because we've got to put ourselves out there really in a way to help the universe bring through what we want. Oh, look at this. And another major arcana. So really nice energy around you, divine timing. Okay. The star card is about a wish coming true. So it says, it's super, this is very confirming to say, what you want is out there, is possible. The star is very much kind of wish upon a star. Hold that vision, don't really go for it in a way, like really go big about what you want. You're busy, absolutely, and being in hermit mode, so do what you can. You don't need to go from 0 to 100, but start to make moves in that way if you are ready. If you work on your manifestations, doesn't have to, if you're really busy, it doesn't have to be a daily practice. If that's unreasonable, do what's possible for your energy once a week. It can just be a small thing. We can just light a candle and have an affirmation under that candle, and then just take a deep breath, and every time you light that candle, we're kind of reinvigorating our manifestation and our dream, yeah? So it doesn't have to be like an extra job, our manifestation. We do what we can, but do start working on that and getting focused. And the same with the kind of getting out there. What feels the most possible? Does getting on the apps feel like the easiest way? Dating, some people hate that and don't want to do that, so don't lean into that. Some people feel like, yeah, that could be the easiest way to connect with people. Or is it about saying yes to social events, you know? Whatever works for you, Divine Time, whatever feels possible. But look how possible it is all that I would say. That is the universe giving you like a big, well, hey, yes, go for it. It's possible. So I hope that resonated. And Namira, my love, last but not least, hi Seer, will my son Geert take my advice to seek help for himself because of his behaviour? I remember this, the difficulties, Namira, that you had. I wrote it kindly, but I see he is also distancing himself from my daughter and youngest son. Oh, it's so sad, this situation. Let's have a look at his energy, okay? Because I know it is tricky, yeah? Will he take your advice? He's still in this conflict energy here, Namira. Arguments, disagreements. Now, because it is a 5, it is worth noting that this kind of will blow over. But, you know, harsh words can be spoken here. Communication can be strained. Arguments can happen. I feel like you need to, in order to kind of navigate this and survive this, you're welcome, Divine Timing, love and light. Namira, this is you, your energy. You're the High Priestess, yeah? And the High Priestess is very empathic and is also very good. You really need to sort of trust your intuition on this. So take how that resonates, Namira, and how you can apply this, okay? But it's like really dropping down into your intuition and your gut feelings on this one. And the High Priestess has an amazing ability to kind of see beyond what people are telling them. I know you said that he kind of lied to you and stuff like that, and you have that ability to kind of, obviously he's your son as well, so you've got that powerful connection. Whatever their behavior is, okay, there's that mother-son bond. And you can maybe see something in him and see beyond what he's telling you, and you have a kind of deeper understanding of what's going on with him. So I feel like it's like trust your intuition in the sense of like whatever he says to you, kind of try to understand on a deeper level what's going on with him. I'm going to pull more cards too. And I'm not saying give in to him, because you've set those boundaries and I think that's good. He will push against them. Hold those boundaries strong, yeah? Continue to do that. But there's something your intuition is trying to tell you in this matter as well, Namira. Your intuition is trying to speak to you on this. So quiet the noise and listen to that intuition. Tell me more about his energy. He's not happy in his marriage, okay, so that can be part of why his behaviour has got so bad, maybe, Namira. Why he's in this sort of defensive Because, you know, it's like the people that we love, we can't get away with stuff often with people from our love. So if we want to say in a kind of, we're not ready to open up and tell our truth, we can reject and push people away that we can't lie to and can't get away with things, yeah? One more, please, Spirit, on his energy. Whoa. I wonder if this is his wife. Is she quite domineering? So Queen of Wands can be the good side of the Queen of Wands, is someone who is very dynamic and kind of makes things happen. The shadow side is when someone can be quite controlling, yeah? And my way or the highway kind of vibes, yeah? Let me know if that connects with her energy. Right. So what last card, Spirit, please just give us a touch on future energies of this situation, of what's coming. Okay, this is nice. This is positive, Namira, because these are a lot of kind of challenging cards in some ways here. You know, him still being in that conflict, yeah? So that's where he's at now. It's positive that it's a 5 because it tells me that it will blow over to an extent. We are having an ongoing struggle with the controlling Queen of Wands, which is his wife's energy. You need to be the stable High Priestess who is allowing Spirit and her intuition to navigate and guide her. And trust what your intuition is telling you more than what you are being told, Namira. Okay, so remember that if you kind of smell a rat, you know that something is off, that you're not getting the full picture, believe it, it's real. Okay, your intuition knows best. Nice energy for the future though, which is hopeful, because the 3 of Pentacles, which I believe is you, the wife, and your son, or it could be other members of the family as well, but you know, you are involved in this. This is a nice energy. The 3 of Pentacles is a card of collaboration. When we begin to be able to get a bit more traction on working things out and working things through with the 3 of Pentacles, we may have this energy is like we've got different approaches, we've got different viewpoints, but there is more of a common goal about actually being able to want to work this out and not, you know, totally allow communication to fully break down, maybe, Namira, yeah? We want to stay connected. We want to, yeah, just put more effort in. So this is where we're trying to get to. This is a snapshot of the future. So this is hopeful to me that there can be a bit of give from the wife and from your son about not being as combative, okay, and trying to work this out. So hang on to that, yeah, through these difficult times. The question was, do we see him being able to listen? In the further down the line in the future, I feel like things could move more in the right direction. We can get a bit more peace and a bit more stability. Things feel quite intense now, and he is, like I say, in a combative, argumentative space. So just let him be for now, yeah? Now he's not open to peace. However, this 3 of Pentacles is hopeful. It's about understanding each other's differences, which is challenging, yeah? So I hope that resonated, Mirror. Some hard truths, but also some hopeful ones, yeah? Hold on to remember that 3 of Pentacles there. Okay, my loves, I'm going to end the live now. Thank you all so much for joining today's live. I hope the messages you received brought you some clarity, brought you some peace for the days ahead. I will be back live on Friday. Please do join us. Join me then. Remember to take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and always trust your own inner guidance. Like I said, I'll be back next live on Friday, so keep an eye for the schedule and updates. I'll post that in on the community tab as always, which is now open for you guys to share as well on the app only. Just bear in mind that. But please feel free to share your thoughts, your feelings, your spiritual insights, your questions. This is an open community for us all. But sending you love and light. Take care, and I will see you soon.